Thanks for tuning in. Brock Page here. Random sports picks for fun. Let's start with Minnesota at Orlando, 7 o'clock East at the Amway Center. Minnesota opened up the betting as the 6-point favorites, and the total at 216.5. Since the markets opened this one up, Minnesota took most of that early money. They're now -8 against the spread. And when it comes to the total, the line on that one moved upward to 217 flat. So once again, Minnesota opened 6, now 8. Total opened 216.5, now 217 flat. Currently, the T-Wolves are 360 to win this one outright. And at the moment, 59% of the handle is leaning toward the Magic. So look for them to lose half a point or so real soon. And if you're leaning toward the Magic plus the points, well, you might want to get those bets in now because you're going to need every half a point you can get. Orlando against the spread is just 17-26 overall, 6-13 at home, and 14-20 as the dog. Orlando's also struggled as the official home underdog, posting a record of just 5-7 ATS when laying the points on their home court. And to top it all off, this Magic team has really struggled in games at the current number. Orlando's covered just 4 of 10 games that tipped off at the current point spread. But before you go ahead and start counting out the Magic, just keep in mind that they're 1-0 covering in their lone game versus Minnesota. Orlando's also successfully covered the spread in 3 of their last 4. The good news for Orlando bettors pretty much ends there, though. They're going up against a Minnesota squad who's been red hot as of late. The T-Wolves are on a 5-game winning streak and have successfully covered the number in each and every one of those games. Minnesota's also gone 7-2 ATS in their last 9, 12-9 covering on the road, and 70% covering as the official road favorite. Now, scoring-wise, good amount of overs in these Minnesota games. 3-1 to the over in their last 4. They're averaging 117 points per game in those 4 games as well. Meanwhile, on the other side, Orlando's giving up 120 points on average in their last 4 games themselves. Look for the public bettors to bet this one upward. I'm going to go ahead and lock in this 217 number before it gets too high. I like this one getting over. And when it comes to selecting a side, Minnesota, no doubt, is the clear-cut favorite to get the job done. They're certainly the better team, and they're better against the number. My only concern about the spread is the fact that Orlando's lost 3 of their last 4 by just 7 points or less. They've actually been keeping them very close despite losing 7 of their last 8 and 16 of their last 17. So Orlando does have a tendency to keep games close. If you held a gun to my head, I'd probably still lean Minnesota. But when it comes to this matchup, I'm only making one play, and it's going to be on the total. So all told, I'm going to agree with the public money and take the over 217 in this one. All right, I'm going to slide in my next game, and that is going to be New Orleans plus 4.5 at Boston. Totals at 215. Boston's 2-1 to win it. Just 27% is leaning toward the Pelicans. They'll definitely be catching 5.5 to 6 by the closing bell if that continues, and they're definitely going to need it. New Orleans is just 2-3 ATS in their last 5, 3-5 covering in their last 8. The Pelicans are also covering just 33% of their games as the official road underdog. Meanwhile, on the other side, very different story as Boston's gone 3-1 ATS in their last 4, 5-2 covering in their last 7. Boston's also been covering machines at the Garden. They're 15-8 against the spread on the home court. And the Celtics have also been pounding the current number, 10-4 covering in games that tipped off at the current point spread. Now, scoring-wise, lots of unders in these Boston games. 3-1 to the under in their last 4, 5-2 to the under in their last 7. Meanwhile, on the other side, very similar story as New Orleans games went 4-2 to the under in their last 6, throwing out that Knicks game on Sunday. All said and done, I'm going to once again make a play. I'm actually going to make 2 plays on this one. I'm going to purchase the hook, buy it down, and take Boston -4 getting it done. And I'm also going to make a play on the total and take the under 215 in this one. All right, I'm going to slide in my next and final game for the show. It is going to be Dallas at Denver, 9 o'clock Eastern start at the Pepsi Center. Denver open 7, now 5.5. Total open 212, now down to 211 flat. Currently, the Nuggets are 225 on the money line, and at the moment, just 40% is leaning toward the Mavs. The Mavs are just 2-4 in their last 6. They failed to cover 3 of their last 5 as well. Dallas is also covering just 25% of their games, facing teams around that 500 mark. They've also covered just 11 of 26 games versus teams allowing more than 102 a game. They're going up against a Denver squad who's a solid 6-4 ATS in their last 10. Denver's also been real good at the Pepsi Center. They're covering nearly 62% of their games as the official home favorite. Now, when it comes to the total, lots of unders in these Denver games. 3-1 to the under last 4, 1-5 to the under in their last 6. Meanwhile, on the other side, very similar story as Dallas games went 3-1 to the under in their last 4 themselves. Looks like I'll once again be making 2 plays on this one. Let's go ahead and buy the hook, move it down, and take Denver -5. Let's also go ahead and agree with the public and take the under, 211 on the total. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. There's one other game tonight. I know Phoenix is playing. I forget who's playing them. There's 4 games tonight. I only covered 3 because I could only find lines on 3 of the games. So if you have any commentary on the Phoenix game, and once again, I forget who they're playing, but if you have any commentary on that one, feel free to slide into the comment section below and drop us a line and let us know what you think. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, I have to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. Most importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page, and have yourself a positive day.